Okay, so I hope that the air conditioner isn't too distracting. But I found this interesting. Okay, now if you look at that thumbnail right there, the one in the middle, you see Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, you see Nicholas Batum, and you see Rudy Gobert. Now this is my summary of what I've been noticing, and I've said this before about the U.S. men's basketball team and their recent struggles, is that they're too focused on ball. They're too focused on dribbling and shooting the three ball. Okay, there's from the highlights, because I don't really watch Olympic sports, but from the highlights that I watch, there's I've noticed a trend of lack of solid ball movement. I noticed the lack of setting up. I noticed the lack of defense, a lack of smart shot taking. But that's the way that U.S. basketball is now. And this is why I said I don't think other countries are catching up. I think that men's basketball is regressing at such an increasingly high rate at this point. Like, they're just regressing. The game has become too oversimplified, where it's like, you try to play defense, but it's not emphasized, and then you get out on the break, or you go back to the other end of the court and you try to find the best one-on-one matchup, and you try to get open with screens or whatever, and you shoot the three ball if you're open. There's not an emphasis of mid-range shooting. There's not an emphasis of low post offense. There's not an emphasis of anything other than shoot the three ball. Try to get past your guy, shoot the three ball, and then get back on defense. But defense is not it's not necessary. And this is the way that the game is played now. This is why you see games that's like 140 to 140. Now, this is why, for some reason, the U.S. men's basketball team have a hard time with breaking 100 points. This is why, because they're missing. Like, there's no other defense. When you introduce defense, when we're talking about a free-flowing game, people love using that to describe the way basketball is played now. It's free-flowing. It's why do you think so many old people, old players, they used to play like, like Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, or I'm trying to think of a really prominent scorer, Reggie Miller. I think Reggie Miller would go crazy during this time, because Reggie Miller was kind of playing that way back then, where he was, any opening to shoot the three ball, he would take it, and he could shoot. He could really shoot. And I think that if given the opportunity to play in this time now, I think that he would have even more opportunities to shoot the ball, especially when now you're not able to, stay. I'm not gonna say stay in front of your man, but you're not allowed to keep your man in front of you. So I think that Reggie Miller would have a great time. Now, I think a guy like Alex English, I think Clyde Drexler, guys like that, I think they would thrive. I think they would thrive now. Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas, like, it would be like a fucking field day for those guys. Because we're talking about, see, I'm not saying defense was better back then. I'm just saying defense was different, where you had avenues to keep the guy in front of you with the hand checking, and you could be physical with them. You could be physical. You could be as physical as you want to. And slowly the game started to change. So I think that certain players back then would thrive now. But take a look at the thumbnail. You have Rudy Gobert. You have Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum is the prototype 3-and-D guy. But I put an emphasis on the D. Okay? I put an emphasis on defense. He is a defender, and he is a guy that he's not really an offensive minded player, but if you give him an open shot, he can shoot it. But his primary function for signing with teams was defense. Okay? And Rudy Gobert, he's not an offensive big man, he is a defensive and rebounding big man. Okay? This is why they don't have tall centers. This is why they don't have low post centers. Andre Drummond would be great on it. Like, I think Andre Drummond could be more useful to the team than any other player they have on that team right now, because he has the size, he has the physicality, and he has the skill of rebounding. Because rebounding is a skill. It's not just about going up and grabbing the ball. When you're playing against men who know how to go get the ball, yeah, rebounding is a skill. All right, it's an art. It's not something that everybody can do, but I think Andre Drummond would have been great on this team. But this is why they have these small big men. I think the best big man they have there is Bam Adebayo, and he's not even that big. I think he's like 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", something like that. Because they're trying to promote the 3-point shooting, because it's fun to watch. When you're a casual fan and you're not used to watching basketball at both an offensive and defensive level that is so high that you can get enjoyment out of that, you're a casual fan. You're a casual fan. You just want to watch it because you want to be excited. You know, you want something to be excited about. This is why the NFL is the way it is, where they're prioritizing and promoting offense over defense. You know, this is why they don't allow you to put your hands on receivers anymore. This is why they don't allow you to bump them out after a certain amount of steps into their route. This is why they don't allow you to do these things, because they want to open the game up, make it more offensive for the casual fan. More casual fans means more money, and that's what this is about. And I put a comment about the Space Jam movie where I said, just because a movie is number one doesn't mean it's a good movie. It just means it made a lot of money. And somebody said, which I already knew this, but it's nice for people to kind of keep the perspective, like, because it makes you, view the bigger picture. And he said, that's what it's all about. And I was like, you know what? Okay. And it's true. It's about money. These sports are about money. It's not about the integrity of the game. Fuck the integrity of the game. There is no integrity anymore. This is why sports is delving so deep into the political aspect, because they're just trying to pull people in. That's it. They're doing anything they can. If a large majority of society decided that they have a sexual infatuation with clowns, trust me, they will put their players out there in fucking makeup and big ass shoes, and they'll have them out there playing in that. Anything they can do to bring the fans in and bring in more money, that's what they're gonna do. All right, so. Long story short, this is what you're going to see. This is why the NBA game has regressed to a point where it has allowed other countries, because I don't care what anybody says, no other country is catching up to USA as far as skill. No other country. I'm sorry, no other country. No other country. All right, we've seen great foreign players come to the States. We've seen great foreign players in the NBA before, and I'm just sorry, no country has ever, gotten to that level where they could consistently be on that level with the USA men's team. There was one guy, I forgot what country he came from, but he was supposed to come to the NBA. Like, this was like in the 90s. He was supposed to come to the NBA, but I guess obligations or something kept him from coming. But he was a terror in the Olympics. If I find out his name, I'm pretty sure at some point I'm gonna do another video about this. I'm gonna bring his name up. But he was a terror, and he was supposed to be in the NBA, but for some reason he couldn't be there. But even still, I don't think any other country has the athletes, as far as basketball goes, has the athletes. Has the horsepower. I just don't think that's the case. I think the game has been too simple. It's been oversimplified. And the players like it. The players love shooting 3-pointers. Like, they love it. So the players wouldn't want it to go back. The fans probably wouldn't want it to go back. So it's like, hey, you're going to keep seeing this, where it's like teams don't even have to score 90 points and they could beat them. I mean, when was the last time you would have thought that you would see a men's USA basketball team with Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant score 76 points and score below 100 consistently? I just think that it's time for us to wake up and stop this. But that's it, man. All right. This is another video saying I was right. Okay. Because most of the time I am, and this is not me trying to sniff my own shit. This is me being real. Most of the time I'm right. There are times where I'm wrong. All right, but I'm right here. Okay. I think that the game has regressed in the NBA to the point where it has allowed other nations to catch up, and now the game is so poisoned by its own greed of capitalism that that we have become a shell of what the NBA game used to be, what American basketball used to be. So